Hello, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make presets for The Sims 4, namely face presets. I've decided I'm going to probably do it in 3 parts because I would say there's 3 levels of difficulty, and today we're going to do, I feel like a teacher, we're going to do the easiest one, which I would say is noses, and then the next step up would be mouths, and then the hardest one I would say is eyes. Yeah, probably eyes. But yeah, and then for other things like jaw and ears and cheeks, they're all kind of like the easy mid-range. You can use the stuff you learn from making noses and lips to make them. It's pretty self-explanatory. Also, I'm sorry you have to listen to my very nasally voice. So the first thing you're gonna need, well, you're gonna need 2 things. Well, 3 things if you include The Sims 4. But the first thing you're going to need is Sims 4 Morph Maker, which is on Mod The Sims, which you can find just by googling TS4 Morph Maker. Look, there it is. So you're going to want to, it's by CMAR NYC. This was updated in June because the June patch broke a lot of things. Probably broke something to do with presets, I don't know. Maybe it was just an update, I don't know. Okay, so you're going to want to install this. Not the source one, this one, and then you'll get a zip, and then extract the zip to a folder into somewhere you know. I have it on my desktop because I'm small-minded. Anyway, open the folder, and you'll see all this like rubbish in it. Just ignore all that. Go down to TS4 Morph Maker EXE. Open that, which is taking a long time, which is awkward. Hello? Is this happening? Oh god, there it is. Oh god, it opened like 3 times. Okay. When you have it open, like this. So we are making a face preset. So the first thing you're going to want to do for a face preset is go to the tab that says Create BGEO. Click that. Wonderful. So decide if you want to make a male or female. You can always enable it for male or female, but it will always tend to look better to whichever frame or face shape you pick here. So I'm going to make a female one just because... No, actually I lied. I'm going to make a male one. I always make female ones. Time to switch it up. So hit adult male or adult female. Or child or toddler, I guess. I've never made presets for child or toddlers, but whatever. Hit adult male, UV 0, and then you're going to want to hit export OBJ. This is to export the base, which we will be modifying. So export OBJ, and call this whatever base you called it. So I'm downloading the adult male, so I'll call it the male head base, because the face, I guess. I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to do it, but you do that. And then you're going to want to open Blender. I think I have Blender 2.7 something. I don't know. I'm sure any version of Blender works. I just don't understand much about Blender. I'm not very smart. 2.79, there we go. So here you go. Here's Blender. You'll probably start off with some weird thing like this. I haven't opened anything, I haven't done anything. This is just the default scene, that's the word. The weird thing about Blender is right click to select, left click just moves this stupid little cursor thing, but right click to select, and then yeah, I'm just gonna delete the thing by hitting delete on my keyboard, and then I'll come up with are you sure, and then you hit yes, delete. So then you'll have a blank canvas. You want to go up top left to file, down to import, and then go to wavefront, which says in brackets .obj file. You want to find where you saved that head mesh base thing, male head base. I'm not the smartest, and it's really small and stupid. Yes. Oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze. So now you have this open. You're gonna notice this a mesh. Oh, I'm holding down middle click, which is clicking in the mouse button, if that makes sense, to like orbit around. So yeah, and if you hold shift while holding the button, you will like pan, move up and down. Sorry if you can hear my dog, he's just rolling around behind me. So orbit, move, scroll wheel obviously is zoom in. So you're gonna want to zoom in to this, and then you'll be like, well, what's going on? Well, first thing, if you have a numpad, which I didn't actually think about if you don't have a numpad, but if you have a numpad, hit numpad 5, and you will switch to orthographic view. If you don't have a numpad, hit view in the bottom left, and then go up to view persp/ortho. Odie, can you stop, please? Okay, Odie's just going to be doing that, which will do the exact same thing as if you press numpad 5, but not all keyboards have a numpad. So anyway, do that, and then another one is if you hit numpad 1, you go to the front, or you can hit view, and obviously all the things are here, all the different angles. If you want to go to front, exact same thing that I just did with numpad 1. So now, hello, here he is, a weird face. So the first thing we're gonna do is open up this, because for some reason it's gone really small. We're gonna be working with LOD 0. Presets tend to be with LOD 0. I tend to just focus on LOD 0. So this step is optional if you want to make it easier or not, or if you're lazy or not, like me. I can never be bothered to do this step, but it does make it easier, to be honest. So with your PS4 LOD 0 selected at the right, you can hide the LOD 1, LOD 2, LOD 3, hide them. Have LOD 0 selected. LOD 0 is the one that you'll see in CAS and basically like all the time. You'll see all these weird tabs. You want to go to the one that looks like a circle with like cute pixels on it. I don't know what it is. It's a sphere with like a grid on it. And you'll have this window, and then you want to hit new, which you're basically applying a new material. And then you want to go to the next tab, which is called texture, which is like the grid. And you're going to want to hit new. And all this window will pop up. And then scroll down to image. And then you want to open an image. Now the image you want to open is one I will include in the description. Basically the base skin texture for the male and female Sims. I'm going to do male. Wonderful. Hopefully that'll work. So once you have it looking like this, in the bottom left, down this bottom bar, you will see a white circle, or a white sphere, I guess. If you click this white circle / white sphere in the bottom left, you'll see the viewport shading. You want to switch it to material, and you'll have this like ominous looking man, which is kind of creepy. And then along at these tabs again, if you go to the tab that looks like the earth, and then you should scroll down and you'll see a checkbox for environment lighting. Check it. And it's lit up. Wonderful. We can see now. Exciting. So we are ready to make our preset. You can do it without putting the texture on it and just that grey solid thing. So if you want, you can just do it like this, which is actually how I normally do it, because I can never be bothered to do that whole step with the material. Down the bottom left, you'll see object mode. You want to switch that to edit mode, and you'll see it all go yellow and liney. Hit A to deselect it, hit A to select it all. So that's that shortcut. A to select it all, A to deselect it. If you have just some of it selected, and then you hit A, it'll deselect it, and then hit A again, it'll select it all. Okay. So first of all, we want to go to options. This is if you want to make a symmetrical nose, which I would say is most of the time when you're making presets, you want to make things symmetrical. But a quick disclaimer. The Sims for head meshes, for female, male, everything, are like not symmetrical at all. They're really glitchy. You'll try and mesh things and you'll notice that it's just not looking how you want to look at. Which makes preset making so much harder than it should be. But it's not hard, don't worry. So if you go at the left, you'll see these tabs. Go to options, and then you'll see mesh options. Check X mirror. Don't have topology selected. If you select topology, it doesn't work. Look, I'll show you. Topology selected. It's only doing one side. Unselect topology. It's doing both sides. that's what we want. We want to do both sides. So I have just X mirror selected under mesh options. This is the worst tutorial I've ever made in my life. Anyway, so now we are here. We are ready to mesh our nose. I recommend looking up, what's the word? Reference images. I'm just going to do whatever. I'm not going to do a complicated one. I'm just going to make what I want. At the bottom here, you will see 4 boxes with different parts selected. One of them will be vertex, which is another word for corner. One of them will be edge, and one of them will be faces. You're going to want to have vertex selected, which is corner. So then you can select each little point individually. So, yeah. A note, you cannot add any vertexes or any edges or any faces, then it won't work. You can't add or remove, you need to just keep it the same number, otherwise the preset won't work. That's just how it is in the Sims. So, select a vertex and then hit G to move it, and you'll be like, oh, it's not really what, why the fuck isn't the X mirror working? See, sometimes the X mirror just doesn't work. If I turn on topology, it doesn't work either. That's what I mean. It's really annoying how the Sims 4 are very poorly, I don't know, symmetrical. They're just not symmetrical. I thought my dogs were about to start barking. But if I select here and do G, see, works fine. G. Oh, God, I hit F. G. G. Okay, so select the vertex you want to move and hit G and you'll move it. G for grab, I guess. Which, yeah, that's great. But you'll be like, oh, that looks stupid. Well, if you unselect that by hitting A to unselect whatever you have selected, and then hit O, you'll see this little circle here, that's blue. It will have turned blue. Before it was grey, as you can see. Hit O, and that turns on proportional editing. What proportional editing is it moves everything around what you have selected, but in a soft way. So now, when you right-click a vertex to move it, and hit G, you'll be like, oh, what's happening here? That's not what I wanted. So, by the way, to cancel it, you hit escape. So if I hit G and go to move it, you'll be like, oh, that's disgusting. What's going on? Well, use the scroll wheel and scroll up, and you'll see the number at the bottom that says proportional size going down as you're moving less and less. So depending on how much you want to move, yeah. So if you want it really small, you can do this. If you want it really big, you can do that. Avoid moving other parts of the face. So if you're making a nose preset, avoid moving the lips. If you're, yeah, avoid touching other things because then it will mess up. Not badly, it will still work, but it will look a bit funky. So let's make a nose preset. So I'm going to right click, hit G, I'm going to move it. If you want to move it more subtly, like without such a dramatic move, hold shift. So hit G, hold shift, and then you'll move it only a little bit. I don't know what nose I'm going to make. But yeah. Another thing you can do is if you right click a vertex and you want to change the scale of like the tip of the nose or the scale of something, hit S instead. And you will do resizing. Tiny nose, big nose, tiny nose. Or if you hit R, you will rotate. Again, by holding shift, you can do more subtle rotations. But yeah, so what kind of nose preset should I make? Let's just make like a triangle nose. So I'm going to hit G. And I'm going to bring it out like this. This is going to look stupid, I'm going to warn you. Like my nose, not yours. Yours will look great, but mine isn't going to look good. It's really difficult to like orbit around because of where the orbit point is. But I don't know if you realize, but I'm actually not that good at this. I kind of just make it up as I go along. Yeah, look at it from all angles because trust me, it'll look great from one angle. Then you look at it from the side and you're like, oh, okay, honey, that looks disgusting. I'm going to make some like stupid this nose. Let's go for it. Let's bring the end out. Okay, so that's a fun nose. If you hit undo, obviously by Control Z, you'll undo the last thing you did. If you want to redo, Control Shift Z, that's fine. But if you go out of edit mode, so in the bottom left again, you'll see edit mode, and then you hit object mode. That's it, like saved. If you hit undo now, it'll undo everything you did in edit mode. So kind of go in and out of object mode as much as you want to like save checkpoints, I like to call them. Anyway, so that's my nose. It looks kind of weird, I will be honest. So what you want to do now is have it selected by right clicking it in object mode. You'll be able to tell by this little orange, what's it called, edge around it. So if you have it selected, go to File, Export, and then go down to Wavefront in brackets OBJ. Save it somewhere you know. So let's go to preset making. I'm going to make a new folder. How do I make a new folder? Oh, there we go. I'm going to call this tutorial. And I'm going to call it example nose, because this is probably going to be the weirdest looking nose ever. And then once you've called it that, it should have .obj at the end, and at the top right you'll see a button that says export obj. Do that, and then you'll have your obj setup file saved. Make sure you don't overwrite that base mesh we used. Save it as a new thing. If you want, you can then save this also as a Blender file, which I do quite a lot because you can't really edit the OBJ very easily. I mean, you can, but it's a lot easier to do it this way. So I'm going to call it tutorial blend. As you're editing it, I wouldn't recommend saving over it. I would recommend just saving an increment of it. So call it tutorial and then do some more things and call it tutorial 1, then do some more things, tutorial 2. Just, it's better in case at one point you mess up. Rather than having to redo the whole thing, you can just go back to the last blend file or something. Anyway, you can't see me, but I'm doing a lot of hand actions. I'm like a proper like teacher right now. I've never done a tutorial, which is why this one is awful. Anyway, so now we are done in Blender. You can close it if you want, or just leave it open on that blend file. We want to go back to Morph Maker, this wonderful page, and here you will have under Create BGEO tab at the top, which is the same tab we're already on. It'll say 3 Create BGEO. This is what we need to work with. I don't know what BGEO stands for. I don't know anything. It'll say base mesh, and we need to hit select. This is where you'll select your one you exported earlier. So for me, it was the male head. Was it? Yeah. Male head base.obj. It'll be an OBJ file, that one you exported earlier. And then the next box will say morphed mesh. So this is the one you just made, the one you just saved as an OBJ. Find it. I called it example nose. And then you're going to want to name it something. I usually put my URL, which I literally just forgot. Is that how you spell it? Yeah. And then I'm going to call it example nose. And then to make this easier, copy that. Just hit Control-C or right-click, copy, because you'll be using that name a lot. So now you want to hit Create BGEO. Might take a minute. Yeah, wonderful. And then save this. Save it somewhere you can find it. And it'll be a save as type BGEO file. For the file name, I just pasted what we just typed, what we just copied. Paste that there. So for mine, it's Squeamish Sims. God, I can't even say that. Squeamish Sims example nose. You'll call it whatever you want. I don't mind. So now we have that BGEO file. The next tab, but we've already got the hardest bit over and done with. I will just tell you that. This is such a long-winded tutorial for such an easy thing. Trust me, it's so easy and quick to make presets. It's just not easy to make tutorials because it's all like, you just do it so quickly. You don't even notice the things you're doing. You just press buttons and then go about your day. Anyway, go along to the tab that says Create/Edit Slider and or Preset Package. Yes, that is the right one. Okay, click that and you'll have this scary looking window, and you'll be on the tab that says Add/Edit Hotspot Controls, which are for sliders. We ain't making a slider. The next tab is Add/Edit Cast Presets, which we will be using, but in a second. The tab you want to go to is Add/Edit Sculpts. Yes, wonderful. You'll see this page. Slightly less scary, I think, but still kind of scary. You want to hit Add New Sculpt. A sculpt is just your morph, your thing you're doing. Add New Sculpt. morph name, I'm just going to paste in that thing we typed in earlier. So Squeamish Sims example knows bgeo. This is the file you're going to want to import. So this top box says bgeo, import, press import, and find that thing you saved earlier. That blend geom. Oh, that's what it stands for, blend geom. Okay, now hit open, and we'll have it here. You can ignore these other import buttons. We will be using the texture one for another tutorial, but not this one. You don't really need it for noses, unless you're making a nose that needs a texture. But let's just presume you don't, because the normal one is fine. So now you'll see age/gender. Check it for all the genders that you want and all the ages, you know, all that stuff. I'm going to enable it for teen, young adult, adult, elder. You might as well enable it for all of those because they all use the same head mesh. So anything that you make for teens will be compatible with young adult, adult, and elder, but child and toddler, probably not. It will be weird and funky. Those will be like massive on the head, probably. I don't know, I've never tried. And then you're going to want to select either male or female or both. Select at least one, otherwise it won't show up. I'm going to select both. Usually I'll end up changing this later because I will test it out in game and it will look really stupid on one of the head frames, especially if I made it for a male base and then I try it out on a female and it looks stupid as hell. That's why I scrap it. But for now, just check it both. It'll be a fun test. And then for region, you're going to want to obviously go to the drop down of what you made. So we made a nose, so select nose. Save sculpt. That's the button you want to press. Then if you want, you can hit preview, and hopefully it will look slightly different. It's really difficult to navigate this thing. There his nose. There his nose. There. Wonderful. So save sculpt, and then you're going to want to go to that tab that we said earlier, which is add/edit cast presets. Wonderful. Add new cast preset. First button, unique name, paste in that name you said earlier as well. So to make this easy to find, because unlike custom content in The Sims 4, presets don't have that little CC icon, they're just like merged with the rest. So hit set preset thumbnail. Preset thumbnails have to be this size. It says it on when you click this button, it has to be the size 100 by 100 pixels. Sometimes what I do is I just make a paint.net file. So if I go to MS Paint, resize pixels 100 by 100. Can you not? 100 by 100. And then I will just like write something on it, or just do a smiley face. Save that. And then go back here, select preset thumbnail, import. There we go. That's the thumbnail we're gonna go with. Save. After you do that, and then you're gonna want to mess around with all these settings. Let me minimize everything because I've got such a messy screen. Anyway, so now you're on this window. Species, leave that as human. That's for like dog and stuff. Not occult. Leave that as human. Let's go down the left first. So age/gender. That's the same things you checked before. Enable for frame male and female. I'm just going to do that for now. I'll probably change it later if it looks bad on either males or females, but for now I'll check it for both. Chance for random, if you want it enabled for random. If you're going to make it enabled for random, make it a really low percentage, because like, trust me, it will be used a lot if you enable it for random, because that's for some reason how the Sims work. If you enable a piece of custom content or anything for random, I feel like every sim uses it. That's why it's so obvious when a custom content creator has disabled their stuff for random. So I usually just leave it at 0% because I don't really want random sims walking about with this massive nose. I'll add it to them if I want. God, I'm rambling. Enable for. I enable it for all of them, just because. Why not? I like to enable it for all the occults: human, alien, vampire, mermaid, witch. And then the tags, if you want to tag it. Tags are usually only used for random, so if the game randomizes a sim of a Latin archetype, as it's called in-game, it'll give him that nose, but I just don't check this because I will just manually select him. And then top right region, make sure you select nose again. Archetype, yeah, again, same as the tags if you want to do that. I don't. Then you're done with this top half, and then go down to sculpt, which will be this grey box. Hit add sculpt. Custom sculpt will be selected. Hit the drop down, and your sculpt will be there. How exciting! Hit save, and then at the bottom hit save preset. Saved preset, and then save as new package. This is the final step. Save as new package. I'm gonna call this whatever, Scrimmage Sims example nose, and this will save it as a Sims 4 package, which we all know and love. And now, if we find that, there it is. And then this package file, you're gonna want to put it into your mods folder. So I'm gonna really quickly, if I go into my test folder, so drag this into your mods folder, or copy and paste it. Copy it is probably better. And then you're gonna want to launch the Sims, which is gonna take a long time if you have CC like me. So I'm gonna sit back and wait for it to launch. Once Sims 4 is launched, you're gonna hit new game, obviously, to test it. Wow, what a wonderful sim to test it out on. Go to the gender that you made your preset for. So we're gonna test it out with this dude, because why not? Hit the area that you made the preset for. You're gonna want to find that little picture you made. There you go. There's your cute nose that you made. How exciting. You can mess around with it. God, it's kind of a weird nose. It's kind of cute, but maybe not. And then this is where you're gonna want to like make a thumbnail, like an actual picture for it. And then you're gonna want to take a screenshot of that, take a picture of the nose, and then just go back to your thing here, change the thumbnail, save as new package, and then you have it done. Also, you can change any of the enabled for anything. So if you want to disable it for females, check it here, save as new package, and then test it again. But that is how to make a nose preset. Nose presets are the easiest, I would say, but still not that easy, but you're very much on your way. If you get nose presets done, you're like well on your way to making any other preset ever. So work on nose presets, and then from there, that's a cute one. We can work on lips, and then eyes. Eyes are horrible. We hate eyes. Okay, so yes, thank you for watching.